All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome,
What up, what
welcome,
up, what up, what
welcome.
up?
Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It's Monday, which means the market are finally open, and
Mm,
it's the best day of the week, right? All weekend
best day of the
we just
week.
unless you're a crypto trader, then you're just gonna be a degenerate, 24 hour,
Every day is
unfortunately.
just great in
Oh yeah.
crypto. Should we set some ground rules, though, Jonathan, before we continue, just to let people understand how everything works? Because I think we got new people in here. I've already had to get rid of somebody who's spamming.
I see there's 250K in the chat. Do we have something to say about that, Alex?
Yeah, 250K is the old way that you enter into the giveaway, guys. So how everything works is obviously we've got a lot of content, we've got a lot of trading, we've got a lot of people that are here for our content. So we're keeping the giveaway towards the end. So throughout the session, wherever throughout the session, I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be, but we are actually going to give the code word for you to enter into the competition. And then at the end, we will then do the giveaway. So stay for the whole thing. You'll catch the code word, and then at the end you'll be able to get the giveaway. But spamming, if I do see spammers, unfortunately, we will get rid of people that are spamming. And we do want your questions, because your questions are one of the most important reasons why we're here. We want to be able to help you guys. We want to be able to answer questions on all the things that are on your mind. So all of the questions, don't worry if there is spam or a lot of people doing 250K or whatever. If you leave your questions there, I will highlight them and we'll go over them in stream and everything like that. But yeah.
Yes. So I want to start off by saying congratulations to both of you, because I know that Alex did pass the first phase of the boot camp, right?
The high stakes.
Yeah, high stakes. Awesome. Well, all right. So, but no high stakes at two phase, right?
At two
Yeah,
phases.
2 phase. So
Yeah.
second stage now, and that is it. And then I'll be trading a funded account on live stream with you guys.
Beautiful.
Get some
And
payout.
Waldo, you have you just passed the whole challenge, right?
Yeah. I'm funded now.
Nice. So you're
Yeah.
basically funded. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yep. I
Congratulations,
funded on
man.
the
Awesome.
one. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, funded on the $1 account that you guys gave back December 31st.
Nice.
So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is
Wow. You've done all of that already? Like, what's that? 18% you have to do?
yeah.
Yeah, and this
Wow.
is why I wanted to bring him on, because this is such a beautiful example of, we were giving away accounts, right? We gave away lots of accounts for $1, and this guy got that account for $1, and I think it took one month to make like
Yeah.
18%, and now
Yeah.
you're funded, and if you manage to keep this funded account, and if you manage to, I don't know what Alex is doing, but yeah, let's keep it.
Sorry, guys.
If you manage to keep this account and you manage to get multiple payouts, you're doing something that very few people manage to do, which is it's going to be interesting to follow your journey, and I really hope that we are going to see that this account grow in the future. And I know. I know a lot of people probably wonder, like, what happened? How did you manage to make that big of a percent in such a short amount of time? Do you have any advice for the other traders who are currently trading their $1 challenge account?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of different in my like I spend a lot of too much time on Twitter, and I noticed a lot of guys like doing the 5 minute, 15 minute, even 1 minute. And man, whatever makes you money, like that's amazing. But I found less peaks and valleys staying on the 4 hour and kind of like always being on the 4 hour. So when I get a trade on the 4 hour, I do 1% for the trade. So it's a little more aggressive than some might be. Some might just stick to 0.25 or 0.5. I saw your video and you said no higher than 1%. I think that was great advice in your YouTube video you put out, Jonathan. So Yeah. And I usually would only do 0.5, but I found out when I went to the 4 hour, like I gotta have.
So
Since I'm only getting,
it's a great video, but you're doing 1.5. No,
no, no, no, no,
0.5.
no,
Oh,
no,
so
no, no. I would normally only do
right,
0.5. 1% is
right. Yeah,
actually
that's
heavy. Yeah, heavy.
yeah, and
1%.
exactly. And that's
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what I meant in the video. Like I say, a
yeah.
lot of people say like there's 2% rule. Like, come on,
Oh
two
no, that's
percent per
crazy.
trade. You're gonna lose the funded account in three
Yeah,
trades, 3 losses in a row. So
yeah,
guys, if you're watching this, and obviously if you're listening to this, you're probably watching this as well. The 2% rule. You got to rethink that. All right, you got to rethink that. Like it's unless you have a very high win rate system. Like imagine what happens if you have that 3 losses in a row. So
yeah,
yeah, got to think about that risk management. Very very detailed risk management
yeah.
plan you need to have.
So all I was saying though is that just on the 4 hour, because things do move so slow and we get like one shot every couple days, I go 1% and I feel pretty confident about it. And I will monitor the trade pretty nonstop. I don't just like never look at it. So I'm looking at it, I'm watching it. And if it immediately goes against me, I might just end it. I might why am I going to take a full 1% loss? So I do kind of do discretionary stuff in that way, but my max loss is going to be 1%. And then did last week I shoot for 1.5. I try to really stick to the 1.5, and then just I'm using probably 3 to 4% of my leverage, so pretty much all the leverage. But I trade air, and I could I could go over my process, but I evaluate every pair and then only trade the ones in play. Not everyone's in play every week, so but yeah, and
So you
crazy.
have.
Yeah.
So when you say in pair, you actually have like a pair in play, almost like a stock in play, with
Yep.
Bella, that
Yep.
concept, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, I love Bill. I read one of his books, and I
One
used to
good trade,
trade.
right? It's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to
One
trade
good
stocks.
trade.
That's what I started off on. In 2018, I traded in the New York stock. Forex I've been doing for about 2 years. So a lot of my experiences in equities and stuff. And so like the idea of something in play, I totally get. But yeah, and the only thing I wanted to add, I didn't mean to keep rambling or anything, but I actually almost hit the phase 3 target through 2 times before I passed it. So I got to within like $80 of $900 of passing phase 3 2 times, and then went all the way back to the starting balance and then did it again. So like,
Oh, wow.
guys, if you guys like give some back, don't disparage. Just stick to your plan. Like, just plan.
It's super tough because I've had a time where I was like something crazy, like $1 off, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it quickly, put on like an extra trade, and it just like totally lost on that trade, and then I just went on tilt, and I ended up like not completing that challenge. I was so close. So if you're not there yet, wait to the next one. Don't press yourself to get into a trade just randomly just to get to the target faster.
And something I did. So when something I did when I got funded was so I had the MetaTrader up, and I saw that I just got right above the target, right? And I believe that the trade had to be close. At least at that point, the trade had to be close. So you can't just, it needs to be realized profits. Not unrealized profits. So I saw the trade, go into profit, and I market close that trade, and the slippage made like a couple of cents below the target, and then I'm like, oh god damn it, so close, because like as soon as I got above that threshold, I just exit that trade right away. And of course, then the next trade was just purely based on like frustration, and of course that's gonna be a loser. So I stopped making my way down. I'm like, oh, this is not happening, But then, fortunately, made my way back up into that target. You know what? I wanna add a screen.
Let's go. Okay.
I want to
talk a little bit about. Do you want to go through a little bit about what you've been looking at, or shall I talk about the trade that I've done today and a little bit about what happened with gold and how I passed the challenge?
I think we can start by looking at your screen and looking at gold, and then I'll look at a trade that I have. I'm waiting for, and then maybe Walddo can show if he has anything coming up this week.
Sure.
So let me just find what actually happened. So would have been, let's have a look. Hold on a second.
You guys were the first no time limit firm, were you?
No, I think it was My Funded FX that did the no time limit.
Okay. Because I was
They
like,
they did it, and then we're like, obviously, if they did it, then we're kind of gonna have to do it as well, you know.
Okay.
Because
Because
to be
I
honest,
remember three-step
carry on.
habit was, you guys innovated three-step though.
Yeah, no, so we did the one step. We were the first ones to do one step.
Okay.
And then FTMO were doing two step, and we were very. No, you're talking about the boot camp. Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. No, but now you see everybody's doing
Yeah.
three-step. I'm just saying, you guys have had it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
We've had it
I
for
wanted to
quite a
point
while.
out. Yeah.
Let me talk about the trade, and then I'll jump onto the other account and we'll actually see it, because I can't get my mind around the price action. So today when I came into the office, it was quite early on, and obviously we had quite a push down just before the market ended on the Friday. And when the market opened this morning with with such a heavy candle that is breaking all the EMAs, that is already price looks really heavy around. It's quite a curved price structure, and it just looks to me like a very heavy price. So I was trading quite a lot last week on that, and I was getting quite chopped up quite a lot. But when I came into the office this morning and it's broken down the EMAs, for me that just showed that it was starting to build up direction. When I came in and I went onto the lower time frames, price was actually in a bit of a range, in this range here, and I noticed it starting to push up. So one of my bread and butter setups is when price is just taking a little bit of time, when price is, let's say, a little bit extended, it's just taking a little bit of a retrace back. I normally take the retrace back to the EMAs and then back down to the continuation to the same side. So it broke up above this consolidation area. As soon as it broke above there, I wanted to get in with an EMA. So I wanted to get in with a fib. So all I did was take my fib from the top here, got in at the 50, and then I was going to ride it up to break these highs, because I was looking for price to maybe take out some of the liquidity that was probably standing up above these. Because if people are seeing such a massive move down, naturally a lot of sellers are starting to come into the market to continue the price down as well. So I thought maybe there's going to be quite a lot of liquidity holding up above these areas, and if price is stalling here and it's starting to head up above the range, that's where I'm going to target just to get out of my trade. Now, price did stall. I had about 20 lots in there, 20 lots in the trade originally. Wow. Do you know MT5 compared to TradingView is just absolutely crap. As much as I like MT5, TradingView is just super easy to use.
Yeah,
so
man, MT5, it's I'm just waiting for this to be replaced, honestly.
Yeah, man, it's just clunky, isn't it? So
Yeah.
first position got into here as a continuation to break and take the liquidity up here. Price came back down. I noticed it was holding support. I got into the rest of the another 10 lots, and then I saw that price was still very weak, and I don't want to be long when the overall market is saying to sell it. I just wanted to take that little bit of a retrace. That was the trade that I was going for. So I ended up taking 10 lots out at the top here, another 5 lots, and then another 5 lots just above break even. Wanted to get in short, but I didn't get the opportunity to get in short. I was waiting to get in short around this area, and it just, as you can see, melted down. But if you go to, I did a stream with Traderlicious, and we had it on stream, and we were going through it, and it was a nice little trade anyway. But that's what we were doing this morning. But that, I was looking for that little bit, like 9 points, and it melted down another 69. So there's a little bit of a lesson to learn there. Maybe when I was looking at price breaking down, maybe I should have got in a little bit sooner, but we'll see. So that was what we were talking about then. I'm gonna Walddo, do you want to share your screen and I'll jump over
Sure.
to the other account if I can get back into it, and I can talk
I
about
can.
what happened in gold.
I'll if it's okay, I'll just share something quickly here before you,
Yeah,
Walddo,
sure.
and then maybe you can talk a little bit about a little bit about your strategy. Maybe have like a trade example.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
wrote out the
so-
protocol before we went on. So
Ooh,
Nice.
look at that!
Yeah,
Look at that! You're in
well-
for a special one today, guys.
oh.
So I have a trade open on NCDCHF. I don't really like my current position here, if I'm gonna be honest. But just because of the fact that it is, in a, look at this daily right here.
Are you short or long? Because I'm short right now on that.
Yeah, I'm short.
Okay, cool. I was like, oh no, I hope we're not going against each other. Yeah, I'm literally
Yeah, so
looking at
I
that
mean-
right now. I'm short in
Awesome.
it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, we have this level below. I like, if you this is on the daily, right? So if you look at this, you see like there's definitely, something happening here. You got this type of structure here. You got the bounce on support here. Like there's something going on here. There's definitely, supply and demand structure in this area to the left, and then you see how the local price action on the daily is clearly in a downtrend, and you got that level below. Then you switch to the 4-hour, and I would say that the trend here is relatively like clean. You got this downtrend going right here. So I'm thinking I want to short this, but the trade that I took was actually last week. So this has been open since Friday, and the trade I took was this one right here. Now I want to show you guys a something here with my system. So my system is based on getting the bearish engulfing candle or the pin bar or whatever. I want to see a hit of the like the reload zone here. I then want to see that bearish candle when going short, close below the 50. And here, because we had the monthly open and the weekly open in this cluster area here, I decided to put limit orders around this area with stops above the moving averages. But here's the difference between this trade and what I usually do when I trade my system, because usually what I want to do is I want to exit here. This would have been like a 1.2R trade. But I remember looking at this, zooming out, looking at this level below, and I'm thinking 1.2R, that's nothing. Why not just, put the TP here? That's going to be 2.4. Well, guess what happened? The same thing that always happens when I think that way. I get filled here, comes down, would have hit my target, and boom, now it's up here. So this is something that I've been testing over and over again. I've tested this for years. Most of the time, price is going to hit the low and then reverse. You're going to hit the low and then reverse. That's why I always favor low risk to reward trades before the high risk to reward, because the win rate on this trade is so much higher. So here, I would have had a winner. I would have had a winner here. And then on this current candle that's closing in 40 minutes, I would have had another entry. And even if the first one would have been a winner and this one would have been a loser, I would still be up at least like 0.3 or 0.4 R. So looking at, the law of big numbers, and you're looking at like what's the probability of price breaking down or bouncing at the last, the first trouble area, because that's what this is. Most of the time, this is where the trend is ending. Or if the trend is going to end, it's going to be right here. Do you kind of get that reasoning?
Yeah, absolutely. It could be seen as a liquidity stop or a liquidity sweep. That's really kind of what I see. They're sweeping liquidity up there, and that's usually why a lot of those structures will just kind of retrace. So 100% agree.
And then we have so that's the current trade I have open. Now I'm thinking that usually what I see on Mondays is you have an entry. I'm just gonna mute you, Alex, just quickly. There's a lot of background noise. So if excuse me, Now we got the weekly open up here. So what I see usually on Monday is you got the
You're on the 4
the
hour.
weekly.
You're on the 4 hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So usually what I see on Monday is you got the weekly open, and then if you have a bullish move on Monday like that, and I open a position like a short, I usually see like a hit of the weekly open, and then it starts moving higher. So most of the trade, like my win rate is quite low on the Monday. Now this trade was not open today; it was open last Friday, but the entry trigger is still here, and I'm at around entry. So you could view it as a new trade. And my win rate is very low on Monday. So I'm going to be very careful with this one because I do suspect price to bounce at the weekly open and then move higher. Because if you look at the structure of this trend, this is a fairly clean W structure.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking that that double bottom will be the end of this trend. And this low here, I don't think we're going to come down and hit that low. Now, of course, I can't predict that because we are in a downtrend, and usually downtrends continue to the downside. But we have a good structure here for potentially confirming a possible reversal of this local downtrend. So I'm going to be a bit careful with this one. I am in with low risk though, so it's not like it's not going to be very hurtful. But I don't really care if the stop loss gets hit though. The next trade I'm looking at is AD JPY, and this is going to be short, and this trade is activating in 38 minutes. So
Nice.
here it's quite clear what I'm seeing, right? We have basically this uptrend, broke the lows here, got the break, got the retest, very clear rejection here. What I like about this trade in particular is the fact that we are now about to close the 4-hour candle below the 50% fib after a rejection inside the reload zone. We got rejected on the 4-hour moving averages, the daily moving averages, and price is also going to close below the weekly and monthly open. So what happens here is we're losing the weekly open, and I like that on a Monday. If I'm gonna take a short trade on a Monday, I want that to be below the weekly open because I don't want the weekly open to be in the way of my TP, so to speak. So if we had the weekly open here, I don't want to take this trade unless I can TP at the weekly open. And this is a bit different than the trades I've shown in the past because I'm transitioning again more into looking on the 4-hour time frame because it's just very time consuming day trading and being on the lower time frames.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know we get a lot of
love it, so.
Yeah, and I mean we got a lot of projects going on here at the 5ers, which I'm very focused on right now. You know, the YouTube channel, and the trading room, and everything. And I see that my performance is better with swing trading because you know I get an entry signal on the 4-hour close, and that means I can wait 4 hours between each of the signals. And in that space, I don't really have to watch the charts.
Man, I'm a 4-hour guy.
Sense.
You're preaching to the choir. Like,
Yeah.
I love the 4H, and I don't know who it was. It was Richard Dennis or it may have been Richard Sakato or Paul Tudor Jones, but he said it's not about the money you make; it's about the money you keep. So to me, it's if you're on the lower time frame, you're giving it back. You're giving it back. You're giving it back. I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on your approach. It depends on your system. If you have the time and you're able, but again, Ben, like you run the 4-hour and you've gone through all the 3 stages in 1 month. That's insane. Like that's insane. Being a swing trader, making that like 18% in 1 month as a swing trader.
Well, and that's why
impressive as hell.
Thanks, man. But I wanted to also emphasize that I did it 3 times on phase 3. Like it was like going to phase 3. I hit phase 3 target almost 3 times. So yeah, that I just want to encourage people not to be afraid of the higher time frames. That's all, because I get it. I totally get the need. Like I think what it is that we're a video game society and that we want instant gratification. So we're like 1 minute, 5 minute, beat the boss, get to the end of the level. So that's why the 5 minutes so appealing and stuff. And like you said, it works for some. And I just want to encourage people to just, appreciate all time frames. Look at them all. Don't just think that you can only make money.
Yeah,
in 5
and I
minutes.
mean,
so that's all.
and it's a person. It's about personality as well. I mean, you're
Exactly.
probably better
That's
on the
all.
4 hour
Yeah.
because that fits your personality and your
Exactly.
lifestyle and everything better. So I think everyone who's listening to this, like, don't just listen to what we say, but try to try it out yourself. Trade on
Yeah.
the 1 minute, trade on the daily, trade on the 4 hour. Like, it doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you, that's what you should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, let's take a look at your screen. That's the 2 setups I wanted to look at
Sounds
today.
good.
So let's.
I just want to add to
have.
what you guys actually said, because I think a lot of people, I spoke to Jordan and Rich this morning about this. If you are a trader that you understand that you're a little bit impulsive and you lack patience, I don't know why you would try and change yourself to be a swing trader. You should use the type of trader that you are, the type of person, to your advantage. So if you are like that, maybe a strategy on those 1 minute, those 5 minutes are best for you. And you've got to really understand yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to be something that you're not, the market is going to take you for all of your money.
Oh yeah.
So I've done swing trading, what's swing trading? Holding for a few days. I haven't got the patience. I don't sleep at night. So that's why I have like a spot portfolio for crypto that I know I'm just position trading it for months at a time, which that is fine. And if I get itchy fingers, I know I've got day trading with prop accounts and things like that, So you've really got to understand who you are as a trader. That's all I wanted to say.
100%.
I think
But guys, make sure you liking the stuff, man.
Yeah, guys, you see in the wow, look at that. Oh, whoa, that's nice.
I just wanted to use it. That's why I said it.
All right, let's see. What if I do this, man? I gotta do like in reverse. I don't know. That below me, there's a scrolling text, and if you read that one, you'll notice that we are going to give away accounts at the end of this live stream. Depending on the number of likes. So check that out. Remember to like the video. So yeah, I was gonna say something about a book. Have you guys heard about the book Thinking Fast and Slow?
I have. I've been wanting to read it, man. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, I'm not gonna go into detail, but basically, if I'm sure some of you watching this have read it or heard about it, and I think swing traders are better suited for people who are like slow thinkers, while scalping obviously for fast thinkers or quick thinkers. I think that is a really good book to read, actually, to get a good understanding of the difference in personality and the way of thinking. All right,
nice.
Yep.
Let's
super cool. I wonder if we're actually going to find any trade. Wow, gold is just absolutely ripping down. I can't go on to the old account because it's actually closed, because this new account is open.
Well,
but I roughly know. I know
wow.
where it is. Gold is
DX is going crazy. Everything DXY is going down.
All right, let's see what's going on with the S&P
Melting.
500. Then do we have anything interesting?
It's holding.
Bitcoin's
holding as well.
I haven't checked Bitcoin. I saw Capo posted a like wick of distribution chart up here. So apparently we're going down to 30k, and then after 30k we're going down to 12k. Let's see.
Capo.
This is so like
I'm
I'm working on a hint spoiler alert. I'm working on a course, right? And let's see. And this to me looks very much like I'm right now looking, doing a part of the course on Dow theory, and this looks very much like a very clear accumulation phase right here for Bitcoin. And now we're in the the second phase of the market, which is like when the trend is obvious. And the problem when we're at that phase in the market, this is usually when this is a great time for people who bought down here. This is actually a great time to look for exiting their positions. And we might have a distribution range forming up here. and it actually looks very much like a wick of distribution as well. And this might be, so if you're familiar with Dow theory, you have this would be like the primary trend, and this move down here, that would be the secondary trend. So I think we're actually seeing possibly a like a mid-term distribution range here for Bitcoin. So I have to, for the first time in several years, I kind of have to agree with Capo here. We might be breaking down here for that 30K level. Very, very possible.
I am looking for 100K. I am looking for up, baby. Look at it. There you go. I'm just gonna bait all of these because I want to use them. You know. No, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. All you can do is trade what you can see, and
yeah,
it just looks like it's starting off as a healthy trend at the moment, and it in a macro
then you
sense.
Yeah. So if you look. So if you look at the weekly, and I think you have to when you're looking for that primary trend, you have to kind of look at the weekly, because that primary trend it's gonna last for months or maybe years. But remember the Dow theory is based on Charles Dow from the I believe the 1900s. So what that means is obviously Bitcoin is just a whole nother beast. So when the Dow theory says that the primary trend should last for months to years, I would say that in Bitcoin that translates to weeks, months, and no longer than a year or maybe two. And then you have the secondary trends. And so looking at the weekly, there's obviously no sign of distribution on the weekly, and I think we should be looking at the weekly to find that primary trend. However, a retrace, absolutely, no problem.
But a retrace down to was super healthy in this case. Like it's super healthy, and I don't think people need to be scared about it. Everybody just needs that's just a part. In bull markets, to go down, in Bitcoin to go down 30% isn't rare. It's happened a lot. So I really wouldn't be. How much is that? 37.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you the exact.
I'm curious. Do you guys invest or trade it, or both?
So when
that's 30.
I started in 2018, and I started buying Bitcoin, and then I started futures trading.
Okay.
I went through 2 cycles, made 2 cycles worth of mistakes. This is going to be my 3rd cycle, and now I've taken a step back from futures trading because I'm like I said, impulsive, not very patient. For me to swing trade where I can see the P&L moving all the time and always want to be playing with the positions, for me just trading futures on a 15-minute to an hour in crypto, especially Bitcoin, it chops you around. It chops you around quite a lot. It churns you up. So I took the decision that I'm not going to futures trade crypto. I'm just going to spot trade. And obviously, these last year, I was just can't even get my words out anymore. Just buying loads of altcoins, Solana.
Nice.
Dot. What else was I buying? FTM, all of those different coins. So I've got some fat bags at the moment.
So this is Bitcoin on Bitstamp. So this goes back into 2011. This is on the log chart, and the blue line here is I believe it's the weekly 21. No, it's the weekly. It's the weekly 50. I think.
Nice.
So I'd like to watch 2. I'd like to watch the weekly 50 and then also the weekly 21. Let's add that.
Those are my mainstays.
Yeah. So weekly, and let's make that a different color. Actually, let's just remove the 50. So this is the weekly 21, and I need to zoom in quite a lot here, but you'll see that this is like the golden EMA for Bitcoin on the weekly, the 21. So it has stayed very consistent since the beginning of Bitcoin. When you're above the weekly 21 EMA, you're usually in a bull trend. And it's very, very clear by looking at this chart right here. You're above it right here, peaked below, but you're mainly above it. So like a long-term strategy for Bitcoin, you sell when it's below the weekly 20 EMA, you buy when it's above the weekly 20 EMA. So we can look at like what that tells us currently. Well, if you bought, so this is COVID right here. This is the COVID drop right here. We reclaimed the weekly 20 EMA. If you would have bought when Bitcoin reclaimed the weekly 20 EMA and sold when it went below, let's say you do this on a weekly basis. Now this is going to give away a lot of profits because you can do it on a weekly bias, but a daily closing basis. But you would still have made almost 300% by that very simple strategy. Same thing to the now when you like you could have just bought here, sold around this area 26%. You could have bought here and you would have now been up 56%. So it's like this, it's very, very simple in my opinion to trade Bitcoin on the higher time frames. And especially then when you add things like the reload zone right here, you see the price comes into the reload zone, and then the other on-chain analysis, on-chain metrics that I've showed you in previous live streams, the MVRVC score. But when this aligns, it's very easy actually to trade Bitcoin for the long term. The problem that most people do with Bitcoin is just like Alex talked about, when you go into you start day trading Bitcoin, using futures with higher leverage, because you look at this 4 hour or even the 1 hour. I mean, come on, what this is crazy. This is
if you range trade, you're loving life. If you get good range, you're good at range trading.
For sure. But then again, I mean, you could look at this and say like, yeah, it's easy to trade Bitcoin range trading, but is it really though? Like the wicks and the fake outs here that's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. So for me, the way I like to trade crypto is I look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin tells me if it's time to go long or short altcoins, because altcoins are so much easier to trade, so much easier to day trade. I think we're going to have a live stream looking more into crypto. I know that we only offer Bitcoin and Ethereum to trade, but I know a lot of you watching this are probably interested in other altcoins as well. So maybe I'll take a look at that tomorrow once they give you guys.
I'll look back into, because I haven't day traded Bitcoin or altcoins for a really long time. I used to use footprint charts and really look into what was going on, especially if you're on lower time frames and you're trading ranges. One of my favorite setups was finding a range, waiting to price to break up above that range, going into the footprint charts and seeing how many people were going long at the top of those ranges. Now, as soon as price closes below that area, back into the range, all of those long positions are now offside. And that's what I would look for on footprint charts and things like that, to see what traders are going to be underwater. Because naturally, when you're underwater and it's going the opposite direction, you're going to then close, meaning you're going to have to sell your positions, which is going to push the price down lower. So if you can get into those trades by looking into footprint charts and things like that, then those were my bread and butter setups on crypto. God, it's kind of making me miss it, actually. Maybe I should jump back in there.
I'm trying to
dangerous thing.
Yeah, okay.
Solana's ripping, man. Solana is just like the gift that just keeps giving, man, honestly.
I'm let's Walddo, did he disconnect? A little bit.
Yeah, he's coming on in a sec.
Let's
have a look at some questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
What about 2% of your max drawdown and not the equity at risk?
Well, okay, so 2%. So let's say you have a max drawdown of 10%. Now it's not 10%, it's 6%. But let's just use 10% for the whatever that word is. 2% of 10% is how much is that? You're gonna
go five trades and then you're out. If you lose 5 trades in a row, you're gone. Basically,
no. What he's saying is 2% of the max drawdown, so 2% of 10%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like not the figure 2%, but the actual 2% of 10%, which is 0.2. That would be.
I don't know if we misunderstand. What was his question then? So I don't understand his question. What about 2% of your max drawdown, not the total equity at risk?
I'm looking at you. I'm waiting for the math genius here to tell me the answer.
Math genius. So look, if the way that I work out the drawdown, especially on risk, especially on challenges, if I've got 10% max drawdown, then I'm still going to break that up into 10 lots of risk, which will be 1% of that 10% drawdown, which actually means you're risking 10% of your drawdown, really. But if you're losing 10 trades in a row, you probably shouldn't be using that strategy unless you're on tilt, but you may not want to use that strategy on a challenge. So that's what I do.
But
I break it up into 10 and I use 1% of that 10% each time I'm going in.
And I mean that's the way that's like the simple. Yeah, that's the way I do it as well.
It's the bro way of doing risk.
But
sorry, what did I miss though? I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys have the same bug, but Windows 11 cuts out it cuts out my headphones like just randomly. If I have my PC on too long, it just cuts it out. But what is the bro risk management? I'm just curious.
Just taking your maximum. Yeah, go on, Jonathan. You say it.
Oh, I'm gonna try to repeat what you said. All right, so basically we had one guy in the comments say like, what if you risk 2% of the 10%, and I'm thinking he means like 0.2%, and then I'm thinking like, why think in those terms at all? Like, just look at how many trades can you lose in a row with the risk that you're selecting, and then look at the probability of losing that many trades in a row if it's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think and Alex, I know you said this before, like if you nice, if you lose 10 trades in a row, like there's something wrong. Well, obviously there's something wrong, but if you look at a calculator like the Monte Carlo simulator or other trading simulators, you have to actually see that there is a chance that you're going to lose 10 trades in a row or even more. So like, you don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow or in 5 years, you know?
Yeah.
So we have to take that into consideration. So when calculating your risk, you have to say like, at what point am I going to cut my risk in half? And for me, that's after 3 losses in a row. That's when I cut risk in half.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if the 3 trades in a row loss is the beginning of the 12 trade drawdown,
Yeah, I think I cut risk when I'm feeling like I've lost confidence in what I'm doing. The reason why I do that is like I've lost confidence in what I'm doing. I want to be able to build up that confidence again so I can continue to trade my edge efficiently. So that's the only reason I would do that. Because at the end of the day, if you're going into drawdown and you're cutting your risk, it's going to take you a lot more energy, a lot more emotional energy just to get back to where you were. So as soon as I start getting confident again, I'm putting the risk back to normal. And that should be an indicator, obviously, that I'm starting to win again, because otherwise I wouldn't be confident.
That's actually really good. And I think you could definitely call that like a mental edge, right? Where you're basing your risk based on your emotions. And I don't think you should do that like in the beginning. But when you do get an understanding of how your emotions affect you as a trader, it's actually very good to like identify the emotions and then take trades based on your emotions, which most people say you shouldn't. But like, there's 2 types of edge, right? You have the technical edge with the system giving you entry triggers, and then you have the mental edge, and that's your brain after years of doing this thing. You have intuitively your brain telling you to do stuff without you really realizing it, right? And that's going to be your emotions.
Yeah, and if you can put things in place like rules that if you feel a certain emotion, then you're going to do something with your risk. Let's say, for instance, a lot of people, they make a lot of money during the week, gets to Friday, they're overconfident because they've made loads of money and end up blowing it on the Friday. It happens to so many traders. I speak to so many traders about this all the time. And the reason being is because they've made money so much throughout the week. Suddenly they've got this feeling like invincible. They're invincible. They're confident. They feel like they've cracked it. And then that trade at the end of the week is like, I know that this is the money trade. This is going to make me so much money. And that's the one trade that ended up losing, that loses them too much because they've over leveraged, because they were overconfident. Then they revenge trade and get themselves in a hole, and then they blow the account. And it happens over and over again. So if you know you get these feelings, and at the end of the week, end of the month, you feel that overconfidence starting to creep in, and it makes you want to put extra risk on this particular trade, maybe that should be like, okay, maybe I should stop trading, or actually instead of putting that extra risk, maybe I'm actually going to halve the risk. And those are little things that you can kind of put into place, but you really need to take some time to actually understand yourself to do this.
It's not sexy, but I would say also just put on a fake trade in TradingView. Just use your long position or short position and just put it on there and just see what would have happened. I've done that sometimes where it's like, what would have happened if I took this trade right now? And they just put it there and then revisit that chart, you know, an hour later, 2 hours later, whatever. And yeah, because you guys are 100% right.
Yeah,
you gotta find the tricks and the tricks into helping you in trading as well. It's all about these little hacks as well that can help you. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, I mean, like I hate when you put on the long tool or the short tool. Like you're waiting for a trade and you're like, I feel a bit fearful here, you know, and I'm just gonna place this on and I'm gonna leave it. Of course, that trade is gonna be a winner. Like it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and then you know, like you cut and then you know you've cut one trade out of your your sequence of winning trades. You know, it's so frustrating. Yeah. So ADJPY, it's we're breaking down here. So this is exactly what I want to see. So we're breaking down now. When I zoom in here, we're going to see a range here, right? It almost, definitely going to see a range. So we look at the 1 hour. What happens now is we're breaking. Now, this is perfect, right? Because what we're seeing here is the 1 hour candle close and the 4 hour candle close is going to happen at the same time. And they are both clean breakdowns or breakouts. They're both clean breakouts to the downside. That's what I'm trying to say. So you got the 4 hour breaking below the 50. And then the 1 hour breaking below the 50. Now, what I'm watching, and this is the strategy in a nutshell, right? You have a low time frame range within the reload zone. Usually, the 50% fib is the range lows. So this is basically on the low time frames, a break and retest of range lows, but the stop loss is usually all the way up above the range highs for a move like this. If it happens, so lots of room for error, and like you talked about as well. This can potentially be a half an hour loser. I might, you might go up here, down here, and then up here again. Now I'm gonna sell it here. So this is gonna be a half an hour loser instead of 1 hour loser. So if I would have had my stop loss, here, this is a high R trade, but very easily a 1 hour loser as well.
Yep. I love the way the way that you trade. It's like super simple, super easy, and people like to think that there's some magical strategy that has got so many components that people don't.
It is though. Like this is the magical system. Like this is simplicity. Like that's
it's simple.
That's it. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to realize that, and I always say this, simplicity is the key to success. But I think it's very important to remember that just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy, right? Most people are struggling to create simple processes because we all want to make things super advanced. But you keep it simple. You keep it simple because trading is so complicated. You don't have to make technical analysts or TA complicated as well.
So I think the complexity is finding the simple system that works for your personality. That's the complexity. It's not the system itself. It's not the components of the system. The complexity is finding what works for me. Am I a scalper? Am I a swing trader? Am I a 5-minute trader? Am I a daily trader? That's the complexity, I think.
Yeah, managing the emotions is probably the thing that most of us, because you can have somebody that's a fantastic trader. They find great ideas, but it's the place where they slip up with their emotions that costs them their account. And I think emotional management is everything in trading, really.
Yeah. Definitely.
at all levels as well. You know, you've got people
Yep.
that are vets that sometimes, you know, have a fall on their emotions, and it causes them to lose everything that they've got or everything that they're managing for people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So at 10 minutes more before the 4-hour candle close, I'm gonna probably get some alerts as well, so I'm gonna show those. But maybe before that happens, I want to switch over to your screen, but you have to.
should we have a
share it
10-minute
to,
break? Just I can go and get a coffee. You can go and get some cough medicine. You want a 10-minute? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
let's
get
do-
some
let's-
painkillers as well. I feel the fever is coming on. I'm gonna.
I
Yeah.
wish my audio would have went out now. This would have been a perfect time for it to go out.
No, we'll
And
be
then
back in
You
in 10
guys want me
in 10
to
minutes.
show my protocol when we get back, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're gonna take
If
a
not-
10-minute break, guys, and then we're
good.
gonna pass it over to Walddo, and then he can go over his protocol, and we can then get into the giveaway, because most of us, we're not in any positions at the moment. I don't see myself getting into a position anytime soon as well.
Yeah, I'm
so-
in 4, so I'm definitely.
Oh,
some
you're in
position.
4 positions.
Yeah, I'm in 4. I'm always in a position
What?
almost. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you gotta
I-
tell us about that. God.
I'm almost never not in a position. Like,
Wow, I
that's,
didn't know
yeah.
that.
So I mean, yeah. I don't know if I'm
All
the
right,
best
save
example.
it for
Like,
the
I
10
hate.
minutes. We're gonna have a 10 minutes break, and you
You
gotta
got
go
it.
through your positions and go through your protocol. 100%,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
We'll
we
do
can do
guys in
that.
10 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. What's
Yo.
up?
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
lagging. Am I lagging? think so.
No.
No. Okay. How was the coffee, boys?
Good.
Fantastic, fantastic.
I got that death wish. It's the strongest coffee in the world. It says.
Oh, really? Really? I wanted to. Well, it's strong because it's like got a lot of caffeine, right?
I guess it was made by the guitarist of Ozzy Osbourne, Zach Wilde.
All right.
He was Ozzy Osbourne's old guitarist, and I guess he quit drinking alcohol and had to make really strong coffee, so he made Death Wish. So
Interesting.
I have no idea
Sounds good.
why it's strong, but it tastes good. So
I went upstairs and I'm like I told my fiance like I think I'm getting a fever. Do you have something for me? And it's because she's like she has this cabinet filled with all the medications. Like here, take this. I don't know what she gave me though, so this could be very interesting.
It could be
be-
very interesting.
Could be very interesting.
Interesting.
Hopefully,
but wait,
you
before-
know.
Continue though. Make sure you guys have liked and subscribed because obviously we're doing this live every day. So I just want to use all of these gifts that I haven't used yet. So there you go.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna put on the let's put what happens so when you put does the banner disappear when you put that on? Well,
Probably pressing around and playing with it, wasn't I?
so okay guys, so you see this trade on ADJPY is now activated, right? Because we broke down and we had the 4-hour candle close. And what's interesting here is what alerted me to this trade setup is because you know this morning at 11 I had this candle closing, which gave me a short signal, and then that short signal feeds into the alert log here in TradingView and then gets forwarded to my phone. So everything's kind of like automatic, right? Now you see I get a lot of signals. Very few of the signals are actually good trades. So you kind of have to go through all the trades to see if you can find any goods. But yeah, this trade is now activated, and I had another, well, actually 1, 2, yeah, so we got 3 more signals. So we can look at CHF. This is a short signal. Now this is not a good signal because it's it seems like, you know, you have a low and then it kind of like looks like you have higher lows and higher highs structure, and you're trading between the monthly open and the weekly open. So not going to be a trade for me. It's just not, if I can't see like, yeah, this is trade in like in the first, I don't know, like first 10 seconds of watching the chart, then I'm just going to move on to the next one. Then we have Euro JPY. Now this could be a good trade. This could be a good trade if price were not above the daily moving averages. So no trade on this one. And then the third and last signal is on NCD JPY, and this is basically the same structure as AUD JPY. So what I do when I get 2 of these, I'll just move NCD JPY up here below AUD JPY, and then I'm gonna look at both of them, which look best. And I think AUD JPY looks very good because it's like a very clear level here. NCD JPY not very clean because the level kind of goes like this. So we need to break below the monthly open. So I'm gonna put an alert right here below the monthly open, and the trade here would be this. So the fib from the top to the low. We're below the 50%. If I'm gonna trade this, it's gonna have to be a break and retest of the range lows down here. Let's see if risk to reward is good enough. And probably not. That's not gonna be a trade. So the only trade now is NCD CHF open and AUD JPY. So now I'm going to enter orders for this one. And it's going to be, I'm going to TP down here. I always TP at the, at the local lows if I'm going short based on the 4-hour candle closes. So it's going to be at that level. So I'm kind of front running the very low. And then you have this structure here to the left as well. So now before I place orders, I want to make sure that I'm placing them at the correct level based on the lower time frames, and go to the 15 minutes. Yeah, so this is definitely the breakdown area right here. So I'm expecting price to come up and test this level right here. So that's actually a pretty good entry area. So I'm going back to the 4 hour. The risk to reward is 1.6. The very high of this rejection is up here. I got my stop loss. You know, let's increase that stop loss just a little bit. So the risk to reward is like 1.5. That's going to be the trade. And it's going to be 0.5 risk. Like that. And for those who are new to the live trading room, every trade that I'm taking here in TradingView goes to my live account on Walddo, and then it gets copied over to my accounts on the 5ers. So now I have one position open from last week, and now one position hopefully open now on this Monday. And usually with this system, I'm taking about 1 to 5 trades each week. So I'm gonna take it easy the rest of the week. I know that if I find like 2 setups tomorrow, it might be like 1 too many, because I need to make sure that I stick with the with that number. Because if I look at the monthly review or the weekly review and I see that I've taken 10 trades, almost every time it's going to be an unprofitable week because of over trading. So I want to make sure that I'm not taking too many trades actually. So I try to take as few trades as possible, because looking at the statistics, the fewer trades I take, the more money I make.
That's why I like lower leverage.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Walddo, let's go.
Over to you, big man.
Beautiful screen.
Malaysian SNR storyline, multi-time frame. Let's do it.
I like it. For some reason, it just sounds good. You don't even have to say it.
Malaysian SNR.
Why is it Malaysian?
Because it's taught in Malaysia, and it's SNR. Most instructors don't even teach in English, but if you look around enough, you can find it. I'm just trying to do this because last time I did it by application. So let's do. Sorry, I'm just trying to think out loud here. I want to do.
What I do is I share my screen.
I think I do.
Just watch what you share.
Yeah, there we go.
Just suddenly his bank details and his address comes up on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, it's
okay. So let's look at the protocol. Let me bring up my up note here real quick. Yeah, usually I only do application because of that type of thing.
Everyone has a fancy.
Okay, so I was a U.S. Marine, and we have to do things really, really simple because we're all stupid. So I try to make this like really basic for myself. Well, I'm just telling you, we eat crayons as Marines. So the protocol is really just like 4 steps. Let's take a blank chart here, and I'll put it back on the screen here, but I'm gonna wipe everything. Okay, so the protocol is identify the last closed weekly candle and evaluate if the candle was a hammer or a shooting star. Okay. So we look at the last closed candle, and to me, that's a hammer. I do see the wick up here, but I'm looking at the body and I see that huge wick. So then, like what we talked about last week, I look for a weekly reject weekly. And right there is my weekly reject weekly. I can see it on the line chart, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a strong support or resistance. In this case, it's going to be a resistance that it rejected. And it rejected off that completely. So then we go back to the protocol, and we've identified the first step, a hammer or a shooting star, and then we place a horizontal line on the weekly candle. So we just take a horizontal line, place it on the weekly candle, and now we have what I like to call the window of opportunity, because I don't want to be taking like levels from way back here. I really want to keep it like within this time zone, like this time frame. Maybe a day, or maybe a couple of days back is okay, but I don't want to be like way back here. So then what I'm doing is we go to the protocol. Let's keep doing that. Okay. Yeah. So then literally we're already on step 3, which is switch to daily and identify a daily breakout to confirm the weekly storyline. Because anybody that watched last week will remember we define a storyline as a time frame, reject a time frame. In this case, we're doing weekly reject weekly. And then we go 1 time frame below that and we confirm a breakout. In this case, we do have a daily breakout right here. Right there. And I just like to make that. So now I have a yellow line and I know there's my weekly reject weekly. There's my daily breakout. So then finally, the last step is we switch to the 4H and refine the entry level, which some in Malaysian SNR call the equilibrium level. It's also called the multi-time frame level. So then we just go to multi-time frame and we are looking for a refined level, either right at this or, you know, even below it. I think in this case, I actually took this entry right there. And then let me share my account here. If we look at it, I'm trying to remember, was that?
Watch all your accounts on show as well. I don't know, it might be all right actually.
Yeah.
Your navigator, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to show my position without, you know. But anyways, there's where we got in. Almost exactly where that line was, and now we're up pretty nice in profit. So it's all about setting these levels, and I use ATR 1.5.
Man, your
for my
MetaTrader
stop.
looks really good.
My what?
But your whole MetaTrader looks very nice.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I bet that's a compliment you haven't had before. Oh, you're MetaTrader.
Right?
You got a nice MetaTrader, you, Walddo.
There we go. Okay, that should be good. There we go. We should be good now on everything. Yeah, so it's not exact, like I drew the level right here and we got in like a little bit lower. As far as stop, I like to use ATR 1.5. That way it's dynamic upon the price action. We're not using just random swing points that maybe use this one. Why not this one? Why not this one? I like to use ATR 1.5. It actually gives me a pretty good swing point. Like in this case, again, we looked right here. This was our level, right? We refined it down to here. We could have even refined it down to here. That's just disgusting. That was the level we could have got in, and look at the drawdown on that. It's literally
this
like
is on a 4. This is on a 4 hour.
4H. Yep, 4H.
Nice.
So we take all the entries on the 4H. We don't go any lower. So we're not going to the 5-minute, 10-minute, anything like that. But we couldn't. Again, the protocol was find an entry at the equilibrium level, which is right here, on or below. So we could have taken this one or this one. I'm aggressive. I don't like to miss trades, so I took this one. But we could have literally went right there and had that little bit of drawdown. And then the ATR put it right there. I set it for 1.5. That just happens to be this swing point right here. And yeah, we just sit and wait. So that's the set and forget part about it.
So when you say you do it 1.5, you just take the average range and then you just times it 1.5?
Well, I have an EA here that does it. It sets it automatically. But yeah, it's taking my... Okay. So in this case, let's see here. The stop loss was 76 pips. So then it just made the take profit 122. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I use a risk management EA. I've been using it for 2 years with 5ers. Always have my... Everything is always perfect. You see this? Look at my risk, 0.99%. It's exactly always 1%. Like there's no guessing with lot sizes. It's a free EA too. I didn't write it. I'm not selling it or anything, but there's free stuff out there to get your risk management perfect.
Are you gonna plug the EA? Are you gonna plug the EA? Who's
sure. Yeah. It's Runwise FX is the guy that made it.
Runwise FX. There you go, guys.
It's free too. I have the paid one because I do copy trading, but the free one with risk management is free. You guys can have your risk management locked down, like always, never any doubt. So,
wow.
Yeah, and that's what I do for all these different trades. So when I was talking about pairs in play, I literally went through all of these and I looked for context, right? Like the context is, do we have a weekly reject weekly? I don't see weekly reject weekly here because I need either a bullish hammer or a bearish shooting star. That's a bearish hammer.
Sorry if I'm interrupting here, but I think could you like in detail explain exactly what weekly reject weekly is? Because I know people are probably thinking that right now. Like what exactly is a weekly reject weekly?
Yeah. So okay, let's break it down. When we look at the line chart, we see this point right here, right? Yeah. So I just want to point this out. This is what we're looking at right here. Okay. So this is a strong resistance. What a weekly reject weekly would signify is that we're saying on the weekly chart, this candle, the last weekly candle that closed, because we only work on one weekly candle per week, this rejected a weekly point right here. And it has to be direct. It can't be... There were some examples here.
A weekly reversal at a weekly level.
Yeah, what we're saying here, like, let's see here. Do you see right here? Let's go to the line chart, and we have this strong V. We have that V right there, and then we look at the actual candle here, and it went up here. They called a Malaysian SNR a miss, and what it is that it went up and it wicked and completely missed closing on this level. We did not get a body close up here. A lot of times in smart money concepts, they talk about breakup structures, and you have to have a full body close. This is not a full body close. They call this a miss in Malaysian SNR. So
Nice.
this is what AKFX, all credit to him, this is what he calls a weekly reject weekly. So then the protocol then we go to the lower time frame and we identify the breakout, and that is a perfect check mark breakout. We use the 1 EMA to basically just give us the line chart. We could go to the line chart and see the same thing, but I like to see the candles. And then we just refine it. We go down here, we refine it. You know, you could get in right there. You might miss it. Again, I'm aggressive, so I will probably take that right there and just take a little bit of drawdown and just get in right there. I actually have my order set for right here. And so one other thing we got to talk about, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to cram in like hours and hours of Malaysian SNR into like an hour. But we need to talk about fresh and what's not fresh. A fresh level is something that hasn't been touched. So if we look at this right here, I'm trying to think of
I like calling them naked levels.
Naked and fresh. That's perfect.
Naked
fresh. Clean,
Usually
naked, and fresh.
Usually the rule is two touches with a value. So, okay, let's look at this right here. 1 touch, 2 touch, no longer fresh. We got 3 touches. Okay, those are the touches. That's what we're talking about. It is no longer fresh. This is why trading is so specific to every person. And Alex and Jonathan, all you guys can give your complete systems to everybody in chat, and they may not be profitable all because everybody's got to customize it to their own liking. I personally like this is okay. Like I'm around 2 to 3 touches. Past that, I wouldn't consider this fresh anymore. But some people might say, oh, it touched once, it's done. But this is what we're talking about. So we need to keep this in mind that it can be 1 wick up and that can be enough for price to keep moving. Because I don't use liquidity, but I know liquidity works and I know what's happening here. Anybody should that's traded long enough. Liquidity's moving up into here, grabbing whatever it can, and then taking orders down. I mean, we know that we know that banks don't use stops. They don't. They work off the weekly chart or the daily chart, and they move all the way down, and they just take everybody out with stops, with liquidity sweep, and they just move down. And so when you're talking about storyline with the weekly storyline, the storyline right here is where it starts. Here's an obstacle. It could go all the way down to here. This is your storyline. Your storyline is the front of the book and the end of the book. That's the best way I've always imagined it. Think of it as cover to cover. So if your storyline starts right here, your cover you could stop here, but your storyline is really probably going to end there. That's really where we want to look at it. And so it's all higher time frame. That's why we use the weekly. And that's why people can get torn up here because they're trying to long this and go long, boom, go long, boom, go long, boom, go long, boom, blown account. And they blow challenge. So
when you're looking, so weekly reject weekly, going down to the 4 hour, looking for the naked line or a fresh line, and that's where you're going to look into taking an entry long or short depending on the direction.
So the basic,
No,
I was going to say it's actually we go weekly reject weekly, then daily, then we just look at the daily. We only go 1 time frame below, and then you go 1 time frame below that 4H. Now you could apply this to daily reject daily, 4H breakout, 1H refined, right? You could also do 4H 4 hour reject 4 hour, 1H breakout, 30 minute or 15 minute refined. It's fractal. You could take it any way down. I mean, this is really just a dumb I want to say Marine Corps because we're so dumb with everything, but this is like a dumb way to trade smart money concepts, really. I mean, this is doing a lot of the things smart money concepts do with breakouts, retests, but you're just using the line chart to get confirmation, and it just makes it it makes it a lot more black and white, and I like the use of the line chart in the SNR level. So
look, all of the smart money concepts, ICT, loads of different the concepts relatively across the whole trading ecosystem are relatively the same. It's just obviously people have coined different ways of saying them. and different ways of teaching them, which is good because
Yeah,
it
we're gonna
obviously
have we're
gets
gonna
to
have
more people.
yeah, we're gonna have the ICT cult in here saying, you know, it's yeah, I mean,
ICT strategy.
No, I mean I love ICT. ICT is just time and price based. I'm too
Yeah.
impatient. I don't want to get up. Like it's 6:21 where I'm at right now, so I don't usually like.
Yo,
It was no, I mean like you guys
Oh,
are
wow.
you guys are amazing. That's why I got up at 5 a.m. for this presentation. But I don't like
holy
to get up.
shit.
I don't like to get up and trade the New York session. That's why I did. That's why I attached to Malaysian SNR so much, because Malaysian SNR we don't care about sessions. We just place
Nice.
we place levels and then wait for the levels to get hit. And I mean, Joey Loaded Potato, he says people run away from the news, and Malaysian SNRs are like, yo, let's make money, because that's what we do. We wait for the news, and then the news is usually our catalyst, because we're following the weekly, and the weekly goes with the news. I kid you not, the weekly follows the news so often. So I mean, that's when we make
a lot
money.
of things are already priced in, isn't it? A lot of
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
if you're looking on macroeconomics, everything's already priced in. Us retail traders are so zoomed in that anything that we do in news is just taking us out and all, and we're like, going all crazy. But if you look on a bigger time frame, it's just all priced in before, because we only understand all of the news at the last point, you know, when it's getting released. But there are people that kind of
Look at
understand what's
my
going on before.
face though. I got a new camera. All right, look at that.
Opa, look
good,
at you,
good
boy.
quality. Yeah, man.
There you go.
The
I want to go back to, you know, we talked about like all these different smart money concepts, ICT, whatever. Like we talked about all these different concepts, and I think, you know, if you pick up a book like I don't know, like the basics of TA, or this one. I don't know if you guys know about CMT, or this one right here.
CMC
You know?
level, okay.
So this is level 1, right? But you know, you go through it, and you go like, you know, like a level 1 introduction to TA, and you see that it's basically all of these different systems, like Walddo system or my system or ICT or anyone out there, an Alex system as well. It's just different ways of interpreting price action and market structure. And what we're doing is we're basically looking for a trend, right? So we look for a trend, and then we ask ourselves, how can we join this trend, and how can we participate in the trend for as long as possible while managing the risk accordingly. And then like you view technical analysis as a risk management tool, right? How to stay in the trend for as long as possible and not lose, not lose more money than necessary. And you know, the breakup structure, you got market structure, breakup structure, how to identify trends. Man, it's all the same. It's all the same. But then again, I think what happens is we have different personalities, and we view the charts and we view price action in different ways. And I think that's where that's what it is, right? That's where all these different names and everything comes from. Yeah.
Just names just help people remember what they have to do as well. That's why I like weekly reject weekly. You know, it solidifies that in your brain. You know, like it's things like that really do help, you know, or there's so many different things. But
I'm gonna
Somebody in the chat asked if the 1 EMA is the line chart. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that's actually
You can
something
actually
new.
You could use the SMA. They're kind of all the same. At the 1, I don't think it matters if it's EMA, SMA, SMMA, LWMA.
It should yeah.
I don't
So
think it
that's
matters.
just, I don't know what. Never mind. This is the wrong one. So ADJPY. This is the most painful part of my system when like you go down to the 5.
Is it gonna? It's got to
5
pick up
minutes.
your.
Yeah. So this is like the this is the most painful part of my system, because I did make a small mistake here actually. So this is a zone, right? And usually what I should, because if you incorporate that low, the low of this wick right here, you'll see that's like the very low area of this supply and demand area right here. So obviously what I should have done is I should have like placed my orders, you know, down here to kind of front run that whole order. Most of the time you'll see price come up and fill it anyway. This is just the initial low time frame reaction. You always get one of those, right? But most of the time it's going to get filled up here anyway. But the most painful part of my system is when you see this move, you almost like predicted the move perfectly, and it's like you come up here, don't fill your order and then straight down to TP. It happens, right? And that have taught me to really try to front run the levels as much as possible. The reason why I didn't do that now is because we have the weekly and monthly open up here, and the weekly and monthly open, they really like to get retested once broken, and this is the first time breaking below both the weekly and monthly open. But on you know, the good news here is if I miss AUD JPY, I still have NCD JPY, which is going to confirm on this 4-hour candle close. So if AUD JPY moves lower, I can enter orders for NCD JPY. Not sure, like it depends on what structure looks like, but I remember saying last time I looked at it, I'm probably not going to take this trade. But now, because entry is so much lower as compared to the 50, I can have my stops above this region and still be a fairly wide stop and have enough time to exit this up here. So NCD JPY is going to be possibly my next trade. It's going to be the same R as AD JPY. And now if these two trades activate at the same time, I'm going to enter both of them, but I'm going to split risk, like cut risk in half and split it between the two to basically divide risk up, because there's double exposure here. It's both are shorts on a JPY, which means if one gets stopped out, most likely the other one is going to get stopped out as well. But it could be the case that one gets stopped out, one is a winner, or only one gets filled. Yeah, I think
my Kiwi Swiss is looking nice. So
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this Kiwi Swiss.
I want to look at that one.
Oh yeah, okay. How do I do this without sharing my account again?
It's already shared though.
I don't know. I don't. It's. I guess hide. Okay, my terminal, but then the top left. Let me see if I can.
So I'm getting into a little bit of a scalp. This is more of a punt, to be fair. This is just itchy fingers, but obviously,
no, man.
Pounders.
I hope it's low risk.
No, it's definitely low risk for this account. I've already made a 1% on the day. This is risking $200, so I don't care if I lose the $200 on this, and it's only going up for 5 points with a risk of 5 points as well, which is about $200. So really not a bad trade. Let's see what happens. Tell me when you've opened that up, and then I can swap it over for you.
Yeah, I got it now, so it's not showing anything. It's not the best. It's not like I probably could have taken this higher level here or even there, but I got aggressive. This is my problem I got to work on. I get really aggressive with these entries. But we've rejected pretty nice here. So I'm pretty confident about this continuing on.
So go through this, because for some reason I don't know how we can get it bigger on the screen. But so you're in a short right now.
Yeah. I'm in a short. I'm sorry if that's
okay.
Not
you're
clear.
in a short.
Yeah, that's my green right there. I had to move it because the count stuff's in the top left. So this way I can kind of show like the position, and these are the four positions. Now, so
we don't have to see MetaTrader though. You can show us in trading view, like the whole,
you can. That's true.
Just you know.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't have my positions over there because I don't copy trade from.
Yeah, but we don't care. Like we don't care about the positions.
Okay.
I only care really about like the idea of the trade, right?
Yeah, we know you're a trustworthy fellow.
Appreciate it. This one was pretty clear, man. I mean, there's just a clear point right here. Weekly, we're on the weekly. Right. Go to line chart, and here I'll get rid of everything so we can start over. So we're on the line chart. As we start. I can see it, but if it's easier for people, I could go here and then draw that there. And we do weekly. Oh, why is that? Yeah, there we go. Head delay. Okay, so we can go back here. This almost missed a little bit. And I was almost going to not classify this, but it's so close. And this was so bearish that was kind of a discretionary thing. And I considered that a weekly, reject weekly. So then I place my line chart there. Whoops. And then go here. Yeah, so this is not the strongest daily breakout, but it's a daily breakout in my view. And it's kind of been doing this like the whole time. Been just breaking down. Like I could probably even consider that the daily breakout. Honestly, it's just got this
So
accordion effect going down.
the daily breakout, is that if you go to the daily, was that the last bearish candle, or is it like three or four candles before that?
Well, I was trying to keep it in the window of opportunity, like I talked about. So right there, and it broke down and then retraces right here, and it's on the daily, so that's a lot more pips than it looks like. It's not like a 5-minute candle, but if we really want to look at like a kind of a proper breakout, it'd probably be like right there, and it's not weeks back, it's only a couple days back. But again, I'm using the line chart for that. I don't really look at if it's a bearish or bullish candle, because we're using 2 candles to create our S&R levels. So
what was the like? What was,
you know what I mean? So it's like I
yeah. But what was the actual?
And then
like,
we go to the
did you have like
4H.
an entry trigger? Did you have like a I think I'm lagging a bit, but yeah, did you have like a specific entry trigger for this? Like you saw a candle and you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna place more orders right here.
No, the only time I ever do that is on the weekly per the protocol. So sorry if you guys couldn't see it very well, but this is what it is. So the first protocol is identify the last closed weekly candle and evaluate that candle for a hammer or shooting star. So to me, that is a clear shooting star. That's the only time I evaluate a candle and say, okay, this is a bearish candle, this is a bullish candle. Otherwise, I'm using the line chart because it's SNR, because it's Malaysian SNR. So, and like I said, this window of opportunity thing is kind of a concept I came up with. So like you could talk to another Malaysian SNR guy and he'd be like, oh yeah, your daily breakout's, you know, right there, or it's right there, or you know what I mean? So I feel pretty good with it right there, because it broke these levels. I mean, it broke this level pretty clearly. So
who took a loss? Did you use
hit stop loss?
Well, I'm telling you, you should take trades.
What
like
you get
that.
for punting?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like it's like always like when I'm streaming and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like not sure about this one, gonna take a low risk trade here. It's like, oh, you know that's gonna be a loser.
You never know. You never know.
I never know.
Punts,
you never know.
Punts, you gotta punt sometimes. This is not what's our disclaimer? You shouldn't do this at home, basically.
Right.
Well, most people do this at home, Dom. You shouldn't do this at home. You do this fucking Starbucks. I don't know. Like, don't do this at home.
Right.
Don't
no, but guys, don't follow. Like what he's trying to say here. Do not follow Alex's trades because you know you get stopped.
Only the ones where I actually take thought into them.
Yeah, and when he says you never know, we know.
You never know.
We know.
So I mean, here's does that make kind of a clear breakout like on the daily? Is that a little more clear? That's easy. Like I said,
would you set sell stops for that?
Yes, sir. I have one as just set. I have one.
I understand. So
yeah, I have one set.
It's breaking down. You can see that it's breaking down. Sell stops are in. Closes underneath and you're already in the trade, and then obviously the continuation because it's taking the daily reject daily or the weekly reject weekly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, there's like some people, it's not that different from really a fib trader. So like a fib trader to be like, there's actually strategy. I'm not going to name exactly, but they look for a liquidity sweep and then they look for a break of structure and then they put their fibs down and they take 71 or 79. That's almost exactly what I'm doing, except I know exactly what level I'm going for. I'm not just going for a fib level, but they're very similar.
That's 50 though. That's perfect.
I know. You're 50. It's part of your system, but this is just to illustrate that there's many ways to do things. And so if you were looking, so that's 2 ways, right? The SNR way would be here, the fib way would be here, and then what? An order block would be up here. You know, like if you were doing SMC, maybe your order block would be like up here. So like you said, there's like multiple ways to do this. We're all looking at it different ways. What I found to make the most sense is just SNR levels. But I have been a fib trader for like quite a bit there, and it does work. But it's the same concept. You see the breakdown, you see whatever you're trying to see, whatever conditions, and then you're placing the order and waiting for it. So
yeah.
So
do we have any questions, Alex? Any
Yeah, we
questions
got
you want to go
we
through?
got quite a few actually.
Well, let's go
This
through
one's
them.
probably. Can you add C Trader support for use the bottom and buy sell on Trading View, or what about the 5ers? Are you main for managed operation? Okay, maybe not.
Well, I don't think we have anything planned at
nothing,
this moment.
nothing yet. Okay.
Uh,
What about to our guest? While focus on the 4 hour trades alone, how many pairs do you look at, and a few as how many possible? So obviously you've got your watch list there. People can see. So do you want to just show us, because I know Jonathan has gone through how he structures his watch list and how he does that every week, which is super interesting. How do you do it? That'll be a nice comparison.
Yeah. I'm gonna just do a clean list.
Nice.
Like let's say it's the beginning of the week.
Look at this value on top of value.
Yeah.
So not
Like, I don't
only
even
you
know
get
anything,
bootcamp
right?
giveaways, all of this fantastic content, watching us lose trades on stream. Now you get a walkthrough of how Walddo is actually preparing his watch list. This is unbelievable.
And so I'm gonna have to wipe them out. But anyway, so like we would just start from the beginning, right? So the way we know if something is in play, if a pair is in play, is whether it has a storyline or not. And I'll say it a million times. I have no problem saying it. But again, the storyline definition is weekly reject weekly, daily breakout. That's what our storyline definition is. This can change for other people. So anyways, we start there and we look for a weekly reject weekly. Well, right here, I see a very bearish candle with a wick. Not exactly shooting star, but it is a bearish candle with a wick, and I would consider that a miss. So then we can change the line chart, and I would place my wick right there and see if it misses. It does. Look at that. Again, the main thing about this is we're looking for a miss, as Loaded Potato says. We're looking for the wick to hit the level and miss. It missed. It's not closed. If we have a body closed, that's no good. So now we have a context. Now we know that it's short. So then I would place this here on my weekly candle. And then I'm going to go to see if we actually have a daily breakout, whether I can flag it or not, because I only flag these pairs here, either red or blue, if it has a daily breakout, which means the storyline's confirmed. So then I would go here. Why is my EMA taking so long? There we go. So then we're looking for a daily breakout. Well, what do you know? We have one right here. It's very close to our window of opportunity. We're not looking, it's not way back here. It's not like way over here. It's right here. It's literally a day back. So we go here. I change my template back to daily so I can distinguish it, and we have a daily breakout. Wonderful. So we have the context. The context was we have a weekly reject weekly. So now we know the pair is in play. And then we went to the daily and we confirmed, does it have a breakout? It does. So now we have a context and we have a setup. We have a bias. We have a storyline. So then we're going to go to our 4H and look for an entry. Now, depending on the trader, they can either be super aggressive and place their entry here, or they could be super patient and place it here. Again, we talked about fresh levels. What is fresh? Well, this is fresh. Do we have any touches here? No, we don't. Nothing has come up here. It actually has. I'm sorry. I apologize. Right here. It touched 1, 2, 3. So this would not be considered fresh in my view. You could do 5 touches, 6 touches. Most people say 2 to 3. This is not fresh. But again, we're just looking for entries. I don't have a picture perfect example of something that's fresh, but we're just trying to make a pair in play. So we know this is in play because it has a confirmed storyline with the daily breakout. So then we would go to our next chart and just to say I did place a pending order right here. So I put an aggressive entry and I put it right here. Why did I do that? Because it came up and broke here. We don't have a bunch of misses. We don't have a bunch of these, right? 1, 2, 3. I don't have that here. This is clean in my view. I see one big body and then what is called a cup or a rally-based rally or a rally-based drop. I'm sorry, rally-based drop. But we don't have a bunch of misses here. So this is fresh. So I actually have a placed order right now at 88,107. But this is not financial advice. So then we go to the next one. We go back to the weekly. We go to the Aussie Swiss. Let's clear our charts. Do we have a context? Let's see. Well, I have a bearish candle. And I have a rejection, literally exactly on that line. If we look over here, what line? What line, Walddo? Well, right here. Look, right there. So we go right here. We place it, change it to our weekly. go back to the candles, and literally the wick missed it. Exactly missed it. Again, we had the one example where it barely missed. I really don't like to take those. I like a clean miss where it's right there in there. So anyway, so we have the weekly storyline. Now we go to the daily, and we look for a daily breakout. Oh, I missed a step because I don't have my protocol in front of me. Place the vertical line. Now we have our window of opportunity. Now we go to the daily. We look for our daily breakout. We have it right there. And then we go to 4H and we look for a trade. Right here, we have 2 misses there. So you could place a trade here, but you may not get filled because it has been, it's been touched twice. It may go up again. But I'm currently in this. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'll put the exact position. I'm at 56,510. So let's go here.
Just one quick thing here. When you say fresh
Yeah.
level, so that's the same way that's the same thing as I call when I say clean level, like a clean breakout. So when you have a breakout and then there shouldn't be any touches of that level between the breakout and your entry, right?
So again, a clean would be I just know in Malaysian SNR we call fresh is something that has only had 1 to 2 touches. So this right here, let's go here.
On the line chart or so
Yeah, right. Yeah,
excluding wicks, right?
I'm gonna get rid of all these just so we look at what's fresh. So we look at right here. We have this level right here, and then we have the retrace. Do you see how it wicked up here twice? 1, 2.
Yeah.
That would probably not be considered fresh because in Malaysian SNR, we look for misses. And so we look for areas here. Here's another one. Here's a really good one, actually. So it went up, touched once, touched twice, touched 3 times, and then went. See that? And remember on my first the live stream, you guys were gracious enough to let me join. I said we enter on the wicks. I was not kidding. This is literally it right there. There's your entry. That's it right there. 1, 2, 3. You had like 10 hours to get in that, and then it just went. I mean, and if you trail it, you could. I'm not going to be the guy that says you could get 700 pips, but I mean,
You could get 700 pips.
Right. I love this. This like there's always going to be someone. No matter what system I'm showing, it's going to be like this. This is ICT. Well, maybe because it's all the same, right? Well. Right.
Unfortunately, it break retests, all the same stuff. Getting in at the 50 fib is the discount or the discount or the premium that they talk about.
I mean, I know I know who made this method up, and it's not ICT. But I mean, whatever people want to like
plug. Who is it?
Well, Nora Bystra, Amansa Sapori, those are like the masters.
I've never heard those names. I didn't expect that.
That's why. And I'm not trying to be rude, but that's why people that don't know about Malaysian SNR just say that's the ICT model 2022. Yeah, see, that's exactly.
I think trading today, like the modern like social media landscape trading time that we're in right now, has just created this cool thing where it's like, oh, look at my system, it's like the 2.0, and then another guy comes along. Well, I have the 2.5 system, and it's man, again, guys, read like a basic introduction to technical analysis. Hint, I'm working on a course for you guys, and it's gonna give you like some really cool. It's gonna give you some really cool stuff to work on.
Should we start wrapping up? And why are we going to start wrapping up? Because we got a giveaway to do. So.
Are we at 750?
I don't know. I haven't even looked. It's been an interesting one, but not really too many moves today. I think we've missed the major move. And if you were short, well done. On pound dollar, you left with the bag.
We have Aussie news. They were saying so. I am short everything Aussie, so hopefully that works out for me.
Good stuff. Okay, so Jonathan, how many likes have we got?
Let's see. I know that. Oh man, I'm looking at the AGJPY now. It's just moving away from my entry. That's painful.
Let's have a look. I can have a look from my side.
Look at
see
that.
If they can get in.
Yeah, you go ahead.
729. So we
All right, so
didn't quite get
we
the
need
750.
Oh, let's give it a couple of minutes.
We'll give it a couple minutes. If we get to 750, then we'll do the 3 boot camps. If
Yeah.
not, we shall only do the 2 boot camps. So get in the likes, like and subscribe because we are here.
Well, we're at
every single
730, 738. So we have about
729. Oh yeah.
yeah. So we have about 10 more likes. About 10 more likes, and we got it. Do this.
That's it. Get the likes. Get the subscribes in.
Now it went down 1 like. So let's get those the thumbs up,
We
not
will-
the thumbs down,
yeah.
guys.
We're gonna give it. I'll give it till 50. So we got 4 minutes. We'll see if we can get another few views, so we can give you guys an extra boot camp.
Yes.
Let's see what other gifts I've got on here. Ooh,
Good
that was
ones.
a cool one. It's a shame there isn't any sound though, is it?
Yeah, we.
I thought the gifts were gonna
we
be
have-
cooler than that. To be fair.
Yeah, we have to look into that. I do
Yes.
have one thing I'm gonna switch off my screen here. I got one thing I'm working on here, which is supposed to like feed some cool sounds into the stream.
High impact news in 13 minutes.
Really, which one? Oh, I haven't even checked the economic news calendar.
I don't see anything.
Oh, I got
No.
is it PMI today? No way. Is it today? I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
tw-
PMI.
yeah, 12 minutes.
That might get me in these positions. That happens a lot. I'm
Mhm.
so glad 5ers doesn't have a rule about that you can't enter a position during the news.
There
Because
is,
a lot of
depends
yeah.
on what program you're on. I
High
think.
stakes. High stakes. You
right.
Oh, we hit 750.
but I'm talking about entering, just entering. I don't mean entering and close. You just enter.
Entering on high stakes, you can't do that. On high stakes, you can't. But on boot camp and hypergrowth,
Oh.
you can.
Okay.
But you're not on a high. You're not on a hypergrowth. You're not on a high stake, so you're fine. Okay, so we reached the target. So guys, this is the time that you beautiful people have been waiting for. The people that have stayed all through us rambling, talking about our different trading psychology. Walddo going through so many different free nuggets of information. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me just set this up. So the secret word is, I wish we had a drum roll, is, it's just enter. So just, yeah, somebody's already got it. So enter. All you need to do is type in enter. And you are going to be entered in the 250k bootcamp draw. So we'll give it five minutes to get everybody in there. So if you are interested in being, no, we can't hear you, Jonathan. Your mic's
No.
no, hear
Can
you
you
now.
now?
I can hear you now. Already 156, 174. Oof, we're getting to the 200s. Gosh, all you guys have been waiting. So what's going to happen once we do the giveaway? Once we find the people that have won the 3 accounts, those people need to send me an email to alex@the5ers.com with a screenshot of their YouTube profile showing their email. Now, you have to do that straight away. I'm going to give you a window of about an hour. The reason why I'm going to do this is because we've got, unfortunately, some scammers that have tried to personate other people. And unfortunately, those other people claimed, the other people claimed their prize before the scammers tried to say it was theirs. So I want the people that are supposed to get the giveaways and supposed to get the accounts, I want them to be able to receive the benefit and not other people. So we'll give it. We've got another 5 minutes. And Jonathan, what's going on with your mic, man?
Nah, man, I'm just trying something out here. I'm supposed to have like a. Can you hear that?
No.
No.
Are you doing the voice here stuff?
Nah, I don't know, man. I'm trying. I was trying something with sounds and everything, but it's just not working the way they want it to work.
Well, Yeah, we're gonna bring some. We got some interesting stuff. Tomorrow is actually the 8th year the 5ers have been open. So the 5ers have been around for the 8th year.
Nice.
So I know there's some stuff planned for that. We've got obviously Soul that will be on tomorrow. Is it Soul that will be on tomorrow? Let's have a look. I'll have to check the schedule. But we've got loads of fun things coming up this week. Special guests coming up as well soon.
Yeah. So
We're gonna have,
tomorrow.
go for
Tomorrow,
it.
actually, I'm gonna focus on how to create a trading system. So I know a lot of you are looking for a system to trade, and I'm gonna talk about how you can start, setting up a system of your own, trying to create a system of your own, because it's not too complicated. Like TA, the very basics, not too complicated. So you guys join tomorrow. We're gonna do another live giveaway, and the some part of the live stream, I'm going to go through, my process for creating the system I have and how I, created it from a trial and error perspective or approach. I think that's going to be a good one. I will start with. I will start with a very simple process of looking at, a break and retest of horizontal levels, and then we're going to see if we can find any indicators that align with the break and retest, and then I'll show you how to test it, how to back test that, and how to keep improving your own system, with the goal of, I want every single one of you watching this, you need to have a system, and preferably you want to create your own system.
Honestly, the break and retests of levels, especially if you're good at finding just good support and resistance levels, can't really go wrong. It's actually it's a foundation of every trader, how to do good levels, how to find good levels, how to find the relevant levels, and then just see price hit those levels and either reject or claim those levels. There's so many different things, but I think that's how I got started trading, just break retests of support resistance levels. I know a lot of other people have got into trading like that. And if you are still struggling to find your way of interpreting the market, then maybe this is like a good way of finding a new path to doing it. Maybe, let's say it like that, instead of just changing everything up. Okay, I don't see that the entries going up too much more, so it just seems like everybody here in the stream has entered. So give it another 30 seconds, and then I'm actually going to start.
Awesome, exciting. So we did get up to 750, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Like
nice.
People they like our stuff. I wonder why.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Oh, we got 400. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm gonna share my screen. Let's go.
So you mean that everyone who enters types enter now has basically already done it? Basically,
yeah. We've got a few others late ones coming up. What I'm gonna say as well, guys. So after this, if you stay on the video as well, after you guys are gonna be redirected to Tradelicious. So if you are into equity day trading and you're awake during these hours during the US market open, you've got a fantastic stream that is happening right now at Tradelicious. Guys are going to get redirected there afterwards, and honestly, you don't want to miss. You've got 4 fantastic traders, some in the crypto market, others in equities. So if you are interested in equity day trading or anything like that, then you can stay tuned and you'll be able to benefit from their live stream that they're happening as well. So I'm going to draw. Are you guys ready?
All right, let's do this.
Let's go, baby. Fantastic. Number one. Okay, fine. Let me just put
congratulations, man.
Fantastic. So don't forget, you need to send me a picture of your YouTube profile with your email address. Send it to alex@the5ers.com. I'm going to give you guys, I'll give you guys at least an hour and a half. That's what you're looking for.
There it is.
Did you guys hear anything?
Yes. Yeah, that was great. I need you guys to do it as soon as possible so I can open the accounts for you today and we can stop any scammers from taking this prize away from me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Those are
And
nice
this
accounts
is the
too.
last. Yeah, these are good accounts. These are big accounts.
Yeah.
You know, you
2K,
can
man. Oof.
you can make woo. Let's go.
I would suggest if they haven't traded that size to paper trade that size if they can.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the emotional
It's
swings
fine.
you're gonna feel on a 250K account. If you've never done that size, like
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
That's
so
a good
Alex
point.
at the5ers.com, guys. So all the winners, and please, if you're not a winner, please don't spam my. I've already got enough emails. It is. I don't need any more spam. 5ers.com. Yay!
All right,
guys,
sorry
send it
guys, I'm
over.
just
So
trying.
that's the. I really like those sound effects. It's a shame the GIFs don't come with sound effects as well.
Yeah.
That would make them so much better. Perfect, guys. So thank you very much for being here today. I know Jonathan, he's going to say a couple of words, but Walddo as well. Thank you for you to coming on. I'm sure we're going to have you again on some other streams, because I really like the way that you trade and the way that you look at trading. So it's good. It's fun to have you here. I'm just going to put my email address in the comments. I'm going to regret this, I know, but
thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk.
No,
about
thank you for coming on.
SNR
I know a lot of people like having you on here. We've had a lot of good feedback, and I want to say this to everyone who's watching this. The feedbacks on these live streams have just been amazing. You guys in this community is just amazing. I've been getting, I get a lot of like personal DMs on Twitter and on Discord from people you're seeing lots of positive things about these live streams. I also saw a comment about Dirk. We had Dirk last week on here as well. I'm going to try to get him on next week as well. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and me and him, we want to do a longer live stream just focusing on Bitcoin and a long-term perspective on Bitcoin, where we try to combine our two approaches. We're two very different approaches, but usually we come to the same conclusion, and that conclusion has worked for the last couple of years in the market. Has had a very good hit rate. And guys, tomorrow, don't forget about the live trading room tomorrow, where I'm going to talk about system development. You don't want to miss that one. And I think that's it, guys.
Make sure you guys comment all your feedback below, and also like, and make sure you subscribe, notifications on. You know the drill. Thank you.
And we do read all the comments on the YouTube videos and everything, and so we do read all the comments, and we try to answer everything. And your feedback is what drives the whole live trading room here. So we really do listen to you guys, because we're doing this because of you guys. 50-50 split for let's talk about that another day.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you all for joining. Bye. And we'll see you in the next one.